Maggie's Grill of Templeton, dedicated to great food and great service. McGowie Health Group, expect something different. And Nikki Anderson, Realtor. And now, the hosts of Golf Talk Radio, Mike and Billy.
Welcome back in, everybody. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy. I think we're going to go straight to the phones. I believe we have Mr. Dave Schimandle from Slick Sticks, your key to better golf. His phone number is 805-598-9993. Dave, you there?
You bet. How are you, Mike?
Hey.
Wow. Hi, Dave. Guess what?
Hey, Billy, how are you?
You'll never believe this, Dave.
I believe it.
I am getting laser treated right this second as we speak.
Oh, that's what you were talking about. I could hear everything you guys were talking about. You said you got lazed. I thought you were eating potato chips.
I got corrected because I didn't say it professionally. So I am being laser treated, cold laser treatment on my neck right now. But nice to hear your voice, Dave. I hope you're well.
I am peachy.
And I understand you took a journey to the Fujikura Shaft Complex in San Diego. Is that true?
Yes, I did.
Man,
it was absolutely fascinating.
Was it more than you anticipated? I mean, I can't wait to hear about it. Tell us about it. But
I actually thought I was a pretty good expert on graphite shafts, and especially high-end shafts. And I found out I was pretty stupid.
Oh, that's not true. You are highly educated, but you found out things you didn't know? Is that because things are changing so fast? Is that why?
A ton of stuff.
Well, tell us. Talk to me.
And even watched them build a couple of shafts.
Oh, that would be cool.
It was really cool. I found out why they're so dang expensive.
I bet. But that's so cool. So what did you learn that you didn't know? I'd love to know that.
Well, for one thing, I always think with shaft company is this big production line, almost like automobiles, going down the line, and this happens, that happens, and it's done. It comes out the end. Fujikura shafts are all handmade.
Really? So are they? Wow.
They decide what kind of materials, and they'll use up to, I think, 8 or 10 different materials per shaft. And they figure out what kind of materials they're going to use, and then they cut little strips and kind of wrap them around a mandrel. They start the wrap by hand, then they put it on a machine, and it rolls it perfectly. And the strips might be anywhere from 4 inches long to the total length of the shaft.
And so one shaft made by one person?
Yeah.
It's like making cigars, man.
You know what? It looked like that in a way.
That's so cool.
And then a shaft takes about 4 hours to make.
Oh, no! Now there goes your cost. Of course, there's labor and materials. Wow.
And then you got the materials, which are very expensive.
I assumed, like you did, that they were just pumped out. Gone through the whole system, like you mentioned.
Yeah, and
down
it's
the
just
assembly
amazing.
line.
And they were talking about how they design shafts for, aftermarket shafts versus what they make for the OEMs, and how they're so different. Well, it was just really interesting. They said they can build a shaft for an OEM like Titleist or Callaway or whatever. Materials cost about $10. On the shaft with the same name that is an aftermarket shaft, the materials alone might cost $60, $70.
Wow! So
and even actually in the one shaft, they can cost over $100 just shaft or just materials.
So are these custom ordered? This like Cuban cigars versus non-Cuban cigars, if you will. I mean, are they custom ordered? Like a tour player is gonna, this is the pieces and the what I want.
Yeah.
And so over the market, or what's the OEM stand for? I forget.
Was it original equipment manufacturer?
Yeah. So those are more mass produced, but these custom ones you're talking about are, how do you know the pieces? Do they each have their own personalities? What I'm saying, since they're not done by machines, they got to be different, right? Each time.
Yeah, the ones I carry are made like that. And so I guess you could call it mass-produced, but it's mass-produced like by the little cigar maker. But they were talking about one shaft they made for Kuchar, that he really liked this one shaft, the Fujikura Pro model, but he said it just didn't have quite the feel in the tip that he wanted. So they added an extra strip and wrapped it around before they sanded it and painted it.
Wow.
So yes, they can get really, really customized. Yes, I'm amazed.
So these
And the paint job. How would you think they paint the shaft?
like a painting booth, you hook it to a thing, it spins and it sprays. Psh, that kind of thing.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, it's not
all
that.
by hand.
Really?
No machine.
Oh my God.
Brush in person.
It's not a brush. It's probably the best way I can explain it. There's a flat circular, kind of a rubbery thing with a hole in the middle, and that's hooked up to a bucket of paint, and they stick the shaft in. And when they pull it out, and the shaft goes into the paint, they pull it out, and the paint is squeegeed off perfectly, and you got a white or a red shaft, whatever you want.
It's like making candles. You kind of dip the wick down and pull it out, kind of a thing.
Actually, kind of. I didn't think of that, but yeah. And then they put the decals on, and then they put a clear coat over it, and it was fascinating watching them.
So if a custom or a top line Fujikura shaft takes 4 hours to make with one human being on doing the whole job.
Well, in Vista with San Diego, that's what they do. That's mostly an R&D center. When they make them in mass production, they have like 6 guys.
That's just incredible.
And they'll have one guy painting and one guy doing the first 6 rolls, and another guy doing the next 5 rolls or whatever. But it's pretty cool.
I bet it is cool, man. I would have loved to have gone with you, Dave. That's just too cool.
Yeah, I would have too. I think that would be really cool. Maybe we can go down. How did you get in, Dave?
Well, he's the man. He's Dave Schimandle.
Was it sponsored by Fujikura?
I'm a dealer. I'm a Fujikura dealer, and they asked if I wanted to be certified, and I said, Billy's always said I was certifiable. So.
Exactly. So do you have to sign a confidentiality clause?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very cool, Dave. That's just...
Yeah, I saw some stuff I can't talk about, but it was really cool. One thing I can say that Fujikura does not pay a single player to play their shafts, and they are still the leading shaft company out there on tour. And every other company pays.
Could you imagine the cost of those shafts if they did pay the players? Right?
I wouldn't want to think of it.
That's amazing. So that is so cool. So you guys are, when you work with Dave Schimandle and you get a Fujikura shaft in your golf club, now you understand the quality and how it's made and why they are, cost of what they do. I mean, they're just that good, huh? They're just that good.
Well, they've got something else on how they test shafts for designing. And I spent 3 days with their head designer, who's the vice president of the company, and he is... the guy has to dummy down to say hello to you. He's so smart. This guy's just brilliant.
That is the coolest thing. So yeah, I work with some people like that. I don't even know what to say. So
that's pretty much what I did. But they got a machine called the Enso, E-N-S-O, and it's how they see what the shaft is doing during a swing. And it consists of 10 high-speed cameras. Each camera costs $25,000, and they set them up on a wall and put some sensors on the shaft and head and let you take a few swings, and it says exactly what the shaft's doing during the swing.
And so
they can say, oh, okay, well, let's not put 8 layers of whatever material it is. Let's put 7 and see what the shaft does now. Or let's put them on at an angle to see if we can make the shaft stronger or heavier or whatever.
Wow. Man,
and the first person they put on the Enso machine, this was a cute story. First person they put on the Enso machine was Jim Furyk. And his machine was so all over the place, it blasted the machine. It didn't work.
Really?
They didn't have the cameras fixed up for that many movements in a golf swing.
Oh my gosh!
They had to redesign it.
No, that's pretty funny, actually. So how soon after a shaft is dipped in the paint and ready to go can they test it? I mean, again, does it have to set and dry, or does it just go?
Oh yeah, they're put in a heating kiln. And actually, they're heated twice. Once after all the wraps are put on, and once after the paint job.
So there must be a recipe once they find the shaft, like you said, and they can tweak the layers and they get this recipe up for a certain player like Jim Furyk. Once they got the cameras and everything ready, they know his recipe, so they can follow that recipe, and that's how they can make their shafts. I'm guessing. That's more of a question.
Pretty much exactly it. Most of the players, including Furyk, are playing a stock shaft. Same thing I'm selling. Very few of them have a special shaft just for themselves, because Fujikura puts out a wide range of shafts, so they can fit just about everybody.
That's
wow.
Depending
what type of a technology they put into their shafts. They got technology on what kind of angles do they put the grain of the. It's called pre-peg, but we call it graphite. And if they put the angles differently on how they wrap it, they can adjust how strong the shaft is or how flexible it is, how it resists ovaling when it flexes, just all kinds of just really cool stuff. They even got a special technology for their paint.
Wow.
So they figure average graphite shaft, the paint weighs about 8 to 10 grams. Now, if you're going to the super light shafts, like a 40-gram shaft, that's a quarter of your weight.
Right.
So they got a special paint that's 70% lighter, and it knocks the weight down to about 3.5, 4 grams.
It's just
it's unbelievable all the stuff they're doing.
Hey, I'm going to have you look into the future crystal ball here. So when the hickory shaft became a metal shaft, metal to steel shaft just took over the world. Graphite's been getting bigger and bigger all the time. You think in the future almost all clubs will be graphite?
We talked about that a few weeks ago, and I said yes, and now I'm going to definitely say yes.
So that's where it's heading, huh? So that's because...
in fact, they're going to be testing some shafts with Kuchar and Snedeker, I believe, this week, because they've proven that a well-made graphite shaft is actually more consistent than steel, which really blows out the theory of why better players play steel.
Yeah, exactly. That's amazing, Dave. And I think there goes that steel tariff or whatever. Those trade deals now. Now I have to get a graphite deal. I'm not.
Well, one of the
I'm
things
not going to get political.
Made graphite a tough sell. So we always had to make it like a half an inch longer so you could get it up in swing weight. But now they can still go light, and if they add a heavier material in the tip, you can keep your swing weight equivalent and have the feel be equal, if not better, than steel.
That's amazing. Did they say what their number one shaft is that they sell?
Yep, the Pro model, and it's been my number one seller. I have, in fact, the one Nikki has, that yellow one.
Yeah.
That's a Pro.
Okay.
It's got the Accelerate technology, but it's the Pro model, and they're actually coming out with a Pro 2.0 this year, which is the Pro, but it's more gooder.
It's more gooder.
And there's probably things he can't tell us about too because of what's coming up on the future. But the future looks.
No, I can't. Actually, just a little higher launch and less spin.
And so, yeah, remember you always said that the shaft was the engine. Is that right? When we're talking about, is it the club head? We're talking about, what is it? Is it really the shaft, isn't it? The shaft.
Well, I say the shaft is the transmission.
Transmission. That's what
you're the engine.
I'm the engine that wish he could. I'm the engine that could almost.
Harnessing the power and sending it into gear.
Well, Dave, fascinating stuff. We got to take our break. And he's Dave Schimandle, your key to better golf. Give him a shout, 805-598-9993. That's 805-598-9993. Clubs, repairs, grips, adjusting loft and lies, flight scope, golf lessons. Dave Schimandle does it all. Thank you for joining us, Dave. Fascinating story taking that trip. Wish we could have gone with you.
It was a lot of fun. Wish you could have been there. It would have blown you away.
All right, man. Well, we'll talk to you soon. I'm going to give that club to Billy to pass on to you.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, I'll see you soon, Bill.
Oh, Dave, yeah, cool. I need to talk to you about something anyway, so I look forward to seeing you.
All right.
Okay, we'll talk to you guys soon.
Right,
thank you, David.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Before you take us out of here, Dr. Ryan, thank you. I actually got a treatment while we were talking.
I know. I got a video of it,
How
too.
nice.
Small little...
I really appreciate your time. That was unexpected, and I'll say
cool.
Thank you very much. That's very cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. Well, we're going to get Dr. Ryan back in here, too. When we come back, we're going to have Chris Rigby from ForThePatronsCaddy.com calling in, talking about 2018 Masters and packages and how you can get the best experience available. Stay with us. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy, brought to you by Black Lake Golf Resort, blacklake.com, 805-343-1214. Also, the Paso Robles Golf Club, 805-238-4722. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy, right here on the Golf Talk Radio Network.